The SNP leadership election has become a bit of a headache for the establishment party, as a number of pro-Nicola Sturgeon figures are now saying that the whole of the SNP establishment will collapse if Kate Forbes becomes leader. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite, and today the SNP establishment. It's hilarious how they're all freaking out because of Kate Forbes, mainly because she's not really on the Nicola Sturgeon side. They're saying that the party will collapse, it will split if she becomes leader. Ironically, they don't really understand that if their person, Humza Yousaf, or Humza Useless as I call him these days, becomes leader, then that will be absolutely chaotic. So Humza Yousaf, who's basically Nicola Sturgeon in trousers, he's going to continue Nicola Sturgeon's so-called legacy. He is technically leading, but there are a couple of opinion polls that show the opposite, which we're going to get into in a second. So in this video, we're going to talk about the split in the SNP, but we also have a number of other video updates for you guys throughout the day, every half an hour, on a number of issues. While the mainstream media are too busy talking about Gary Lineker and the BBC, there are real important issues happening all around us, which this channel will cover today, unlike the lamestream media. So let's talk about Kate Forbes, simply because she is slightly more socially conservative than the rest of the SNP establishment. This is the problem with the modern left, by the way, because in the past, the political left could include people who believe in economic socialism, but they could still be either patriotic, they could also be socially conservative. For example, Clement Attlee was a perfect case for this, and he was pro-empire, he was pro-Commonwealth, and he still had social conservative views. But the whole of the political left has now been infiltrated by this modern left-wing liberalism, which is not really liberalism anyway, but there is no purity when it comes to socialists or socialism. Everybody is a champagne socialist on the political left. So all this is now being fueled by the SNP's new deputy leader in Westminster. You remember Miriam Black? Yeah, she was one of the youngest. I think she was the youngest MP that was elected from the SNP side in 2015. She's come out to say that, well, the party was split. But Miriam Black said that a lot of people have asked me my views of the leadership contest. Truthfully, I have been incredibly hurt so far. Hurt originating with the statements that Kate Forbes has made, and since stood by. How dare she? How dare Kate Forbes has views? Mary Black says, I, like most people in Scotland, could not care less about someone's religion. Really? Well, then why is it that you guys all had a meltdown in the SNP because of someone's religion? She continued, there's another part that says, the idea that Kate is being persecuted, or that there is a witch hunt or unionist media plot against her, is utterly fanciful at best, a dangerous conspiracy theory at worst. Tinfoil hat, everybody. Why is it that every time they lose the argument in the establishment, they just call everybody a theorist? Everybody has a tinfoil hat, and cancel culture doesn't exist. And when it happens to their side, they say, oh my God, this is cancel culture. Pick a side. You can't have both. You cannot have your cake and eat it. This is funny because one of the issues that we've had recently is about whether Kate Forbes is going to become leader and whether she will cause this split in the SNP, which I have no problem with. But we also believe that if Humza Useless becomes leader, then that will be the end of the SNP rule, because he's not really charismatic. He's just a bit hateful and a bit angry and a bit annoying. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there have been a couple of opinion polls, including Ipsos Mori, that showed that Kate Forbes is actually leading again, because Humza Yousaf has been leading mostly in the recent surveys, but most Scots now favour Kate Forbes as the future First Minister. She's leading which is currently at 32%, and Humza is at 24%. So we don't really know exactly how this election is going to turn out to be. The media, especially in outside of Scotland, so in England and other places, they completely forgot that there's an SNP election, mainly because they are too busy chasing around Gary Lineker on the streets to see if they can report a breaking news story whether Gary Lineker has left his house this morning or not, which is absolutely embarrassing for the whole country if this is the state of our legacy media. There are important problems right now. Cover the BBC scandal, but at the same time, make sure you talk about this. Make sure you talk about what's going on in the Middle East, where Saudi Arabia and Iran are becoming allies again thanks to China. The Eastern Empire is rising. We don't really know exactly what's going on with the bailouts of these banks, which we're going to talk about on the channel. Sadiq Khan's ULEZ chaos is still happening. Ed Miliband wants to be the prince of net zero. So much is going on, which today, right here today on the channel, we'll be covering all these stories, but the media will not tell you any of them. The best thing you can do is share this video. Also click on the like button and subscribe. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.